What's happening, people? Back with another reaction, back with some more Duran Duran, and in fact, I'm very excited. I was going through my collection, seeing if I had any more of their material, and what did I find? Not in the original case, but at least I have the disc. Duran Duran Greatest, which is like a greatest hits album compilation that came out in 1998, so it's only stuff up until that year. But it includes multiple songs that I was saying I wanted to react to and thought I was going to have to wait to get a copy of the wedding album, which is to say I really do want to react to Come Undone and Ordinary World. They're both on this disc, although I should say we're going to start with Come Undone, but it is listed as Come Undone parentheses edit end parentheses. So I'm not sure how this may vary from the version on the wedding album. But yeah, it does call it an edit, so it sounds like it's sort of a remix or at least a reformulation of the tune in some way. But yeah, I always enjoyed this tune from the first time I heard it. Now this came out in '93, and by this time I was 13, so I was thinking more about lyrics when I was hearing music for the first time, and indeed, by the time I was 13 is when I had started to listen to punk rock, and my interaction with punk rock began because of lyrics, at least as much as the guitar riffs and so on. So by this time I was thinking about lyrics, and when I heard this song I was fascinated, like, because it sounds like the person, and from what I understand, Simon Le Bon, I think, wrote the lyrics for his wife, if I remember reading that correctly. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. But it's so interesting because it's like they're speaking to this other person like, they're the physical manifestation of an immaculate dream. Their line right at the beginning is like, mine immaculate dream made flesh and skin. I've been waiting for you. I like, even as a teenager, I was like, man, that's a fucking crazy line. But yeah, so it's like they've been waiting for this person. It's like, they knew the one person they were waiting for, and boom, there you are in flesh and skin. But then, like, the chorus and other lines are about it, like, falling apart at the seams and coming undone and, like, sort of slipping apart and it not working. So there's this tension, I think, in the lyrics between the ideal that this person, this woman, represents and is for this other person, but also, like, juxtaposed against the reality of their interaction, their relationship, which sounds like it's falling apart to the point of being, irreparable. So yeah, there's a really interesting tension in the lyrics, and again, like, I think there may be some lines that I'm not quite remembering because I, haven't listened to this in years. But when I started to think about, I want to start getting back into like '80s synth pop and some of those groups, it made me think, oh, but it's not just their material from the '80s, their material from later. And indeed, I remember thinking when I heard this in the early '90s that, wow, this sounds a lot different from the older Duran Duran, the Hungry Like a Wolf and sort of the stuff from the '80s. Whereas, I also listened to a lot of Depeche Mode, and I remember thinking, like, yeah, there's some stuff in the '90s where Depeche Mode, it sounds a little more rocky, like I Feel You. But generally, I didn't think they, like, changed as much. Whereas Duran Duran, when I heard this song, I was like, wow, that, like, it's like this dark, kind of wicked rock song. It doesn't sound like some of their old stuff. So I do love the, like, variation and sort of diversity of their own material, their own catalog. Yeah. So bottom line, that was my take on the lyrics, that it's about this very complicated relationship between this person who's been idealized, but in reality, the connection they have is sort of withering and falling apart. But here we go. This is Come Undone, 1993, on the wedding album, heard here on the 1998 compilation Greatest, Duran Duran. Oh, that's right, the Come Undone edit, heard here on Greatest. The female vocalist, like Tessa Niles, I think it is. I think she's worked with a lot of people, but I don't think she's like formally part of any of or most of the group she's worked with. Like, I think she's like a contributing artist. But I love her voice in this.
It'll take a little time, might take a little cry to come undone. Now we'll try to stay blind to the hope and fear outside. Hey child, stay wilder than the wind and blow me into
I always love that vocal. It's like it literally just soars into the sky.
when you come undone. Who do you need? Who do you love? When you come undone.
Love that. It does seem to be a defining feature of some of their songs. Like they have these little like half dead pause interludes right before the beginning of a verse or a chorus.
Is it something real? All the magic I'm feeding off your face.
Yeah, like is this idealized connection? Is it even real or like am I just kind of hypnotized? And she's speaking what's really happening, right? Like, it's falling apart and my heart is breaking to pieces while you're in your idealized hypnosis. Like hi-hats. It's like a tambourine or something, right? I'm not sure what that high percussion is, whether it's part of a drum kit or like a separate instrument like a tambourine, but I love the consistency of that percussion. Yo. Shout out to the singing, man. Both of them. Simon LeBon and Tessa Niles, I think her name is. Someone let me know if I'm getting that wrong. Holy crap. Again, I've always loved that song. It's always been one of my favorite by them, but I hadn't listened to it in a while, and that was like, it was even better than I remembered it. Someone let me know if it differs notably. Again, given that it's called an edit, I'm guessing it's different at least in a few ways than the studio version, but like I said, I don't know how that may differ, so if someone has more information there, do let me know. Other than that, thank you for listening and watching. I'll see you next time. Peace.